Hello there, and welcome to Sleep Science 360. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Maybe your day felt long, or maybe you're someone who falls asleep more easily. When your mind is allowed to wander into gentle ideas, instead of counting sheep, either way, this moment is for you. You have nothing to solve now, nothing to prove. Just let your thoughts loosen as your breathing softens, and notice how your body grows light, as if the weight of the day has quietly stepped aside. Because tonight, we're drifting into something softer than knowledge and far calmer than thinking. Tonight, we explore the most relaxing facts about intelligence, spoken slowly enough for your mind to feel safe again. There's a quiet saying, wisdom is not the lightning that strikes, but the lantern that glows. And intelligence, in its gentlest form, is a lantern, a slow glow, a warm presence in the background of your life. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. As you settle into the night, you might feel your thoughts stretching out, like faint rays of starlight, traveling without hurry, taking their time the way light takes its time to cross the space between distant stars. Nothing is fast here. Nothing is sharp. Your mind is allowed to rest inside its own quiet brilliance, held by the soft truth that intelligence has never been a race, but a gentle unfolding. And as you breathe, we let that unfolding begin. You rest here now, letting the last threads of your day soften at the edges. The room grows still around you, and your breath finds a slow, steady rhythm of its own. You don't need to direct anything. You don't need to hold anything together. Every inhale loosens the weight behind your eyes, and every exhale lets the world settle into a quieter shape. Even your thoughts begin to stretch like tired branches, easing open after holding so much for so long. You can rest now, warm and slow. Your mind hums gently, not with effort, but with the fading warmth of a long day finally dimming. The night folds itself around you in soft layers. You notice the texture of your pillow, the faint whisper of the air, the subtle sinking of your body into stillness. These small sensations become a kind of grounding, a gentle reminder that intelligence doesn't begin in loud moments of brilliance, but in quiet awareness just like this. A simple truth drifts in with the breath. Even the calmest mind is still a remarkable mind. Somewhere inside you, deep and steady, intelligence moves at its own peaceful pace. A fact glows softly. Your brain uses only a slow electrical pulse, traveling a few dozen meters each second, to weave the thoughts that shape your day. And another gentle truth settles in. The brain you carry has grown through millions of years, shaped not by speed but by patience. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. Images begin to form behind your closed eyes, as subtle as moonlit reflections on calm water. You might imagine intelligence as a tide, rising and settling, always returning to its center. The edges blur, the colors dim, and the quiet becomes a comfort in itself. The soft weight of the blankets holds you in place like a shoreline holding back the night. You can rest now, slow and low. The night deepens, yet feels lighter. Your awareness drifts like dust caught in a low beam of light, barely moving, barely needing to. The warm truth returns. Intelligence has never been a measure of pressure, but a measure of noticing. Somewhere, light continues to travel across the long distances of the universe, and you are allowed to drift here without effort. Another calm detail settles into the quiet. The human mind has over 80 billion cells humming together, each one glowing with tiny signals that rise and fade like distant lanterns. Another fact moves through gently. Those lanterns never rush. They slow down when you rest, turning your mind into a landscape of soft sparks. A spark of curiosity glimmers, not sharp, just warm. And as the glow spreads through your awareness, your body sinks deeper into the bed, as though gravity has lowered itself to match your pace. It's okay to drift, low and warm. The air in your lungs feels cooler now, or maybe simply quieter. You sense each breath like a slow tide lifting and lowering the shoreline of your chest. In this slow rhythm, even your thoughts begin to sway, unhurried. Imagery rises, intelligence as a faint constellation forming in fog, soft dots connected by threads of light. Nothing needs to be solved. Nothing needs to be remembered. The constellation can shimmer without any meaning at all. The night softens around you. Your skin relaxes first, loosening its hold on the temperature of the room. Then your shoulders release a tension you didn't know you were keeping. Your jaw drifts loose like sand settling after a long wave pulls away. These sensations create a small harbor, a safe curve of still water for your mind to float within. You can rest now, soft and slow. The warmth of the bedding becomes a shoreline again, holding you gently in place. It's quiet enough now that you can almost sense the slow workings of your mind beneath everything else, the faint hum, the dim glow, the drifting rhythm. Two more soft truths arrive. Featherlight. The thoughts you had earlier today are already dissolving, their shapes fading within minutes as the brain clears space for rest. And the feelings you carried have already begun to lighten, because the brain is built to soften the day as night arrives. A slow comfort spreads through you, round and warm. Somewhere, maybe a little above you or maybe deep inside, an image forms. A field at dusk, blades of grass leaning gently together, each one catching a thread of fading light. Intelligence could be like that, countless tiny strands leaning toward one another, sharing a quiet glow. It becomes less like thinking and more like breathing. Your body seems to melt slightly deeper into the mattress, sinking into a depth you don't need to define. It's okay to drift. The night continues its slow descent. Every sentence grows a little softer, like footsteps easing across a cool floor. Your hands grow warm, then distant. Your thoughts become softer than whispers. You feel the gentle weight of the blankets settling into your legs, grounding you with a warmth that spreads downward, then outward, then nowhere at all. You can rest now, safe and low. Intelligence moves quietly, just like this. One soft fact drifts in. The brain organizes memories while you sleep, letting thoughts settle the way dust settles in still air. Another settles in beside it. During deep rest, the mind clears itself slowly, washing away the leftover weight of the day, leaving only what matters. A small spark of curiosity glows at the edge of your awareness. It isn't bright. It isn't demanding. It simply exists, like a single star in a wide, moonless sky. Somewhere, light continues to travel. You breathe in, long and slow, and imagine that breath carrying the day outward. You breathe out, feeling the night pull closer. The room becomes a soft outline. Your body becomes a warm presence. Your mind becomes a drifting shape, neither here nor there. The quiet deepens around you like a slow current moving through a still lake. A comfort settles. It's okay to drift, warm and safe. Thoughts lose their edges now. They turn from lines into mist, from ideas into shapes, from shapes into gentle movement. You might picture intelligence as a soft glow beneath water, pulsing slowly like bioluminescent light in a calm ocean. Each pulse fades into the next. Each thought settles before the next one begins. The glow spreads in a slow circle, expanding and fading like ripples on quiet water. And the night softens around you. Even your breathing seems gentler now. You feel it in the base of your ribs, where a warm heaviness gathers and settles. You feel it in the soft muscles of your neck. You feel it in the quiet curve of your back. The warmth spreads through you like a slow tide rising. You can rest now, loose and low. Two more quiet truths settle into place. Intelligence is not measured by speed, but by the slow ability to notice patterns over time. And even in sleep, your mind continues its calm work, sorting through impressions with patient, moonlit care. A whisper of curiosity glimmers, barely bright enough to be seen, and fades again into the dark. Somewhere, light continues to travel across distances too vast to imagine. The imagery thickens, soft like fog rolling through an open valley. You might see intelligence as a lantern left glowing at the edge of a path, steady, low, unhurried. The light doesn't reach far, but it doesn't need to. It illuminates just enough for your next soft breath. The rest of the world falls away into calm shadows, leaving you floating in a warm pool of dark. It's okay to drift. Your body becomes quieter than thought, quieter than breath. What you feel now is not weight, but presence, the gentle sense of being held in place by the darkness itself. Your limbs sink deeper. Your breath lowers into a slow rhythm. Your thoughts become faint echoes, then soft shapes, then gentle motion. The quiet becomes a blanket, the stillness a kind of warmth that moves through your ribs and settles into your stomach, slow and low. You can rest now. Another gentle detail drifts toward you. The brain slows its rhythm at night, waves becoming longer and softer, like rolling hills fading into shadow. Another follows behind it. Intelligence rests too, drifting into quiet pulses that hum softly beneath your awareness. A spark of curiosity flickers once more, softer than before, then dissolves into the dark. Somewhere, light continues to travel. Your mind, once filled with the noise of the day, becomes a slow landscape, soft hills, fading light, distant horizons. You drift across it without needing to steer, carried by a rhythm older than thought, older than language. The night deepens, its edges growing gentle and porous. You feel yourself loosening into it, body and breath and mind sinking gently together. It's okay to drift. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night holds you in a slow, warm curve. Your mind glows gently within it, and you drift lower, quieter, softer, letting the calm begin to carry you deeper into the story of intelligence and deeper into rest. We drift together now, resting in the soft quiet that the night offers so easily. The air feels lighter than before, as if the room itself has softened to match our slower rhythm. There's no hurry here, no weight of expectation, only the steady unfolding of calm that grows with every breath we share. The world outside fades into a gentle blur, and the world within becomes a warm landscape we can move through slowly, like travelers following a dim path under starlight. We begin to sense how intelligence settles when the pressure pauses, not as a spark or a sudden leap, but as a quiet pattern that appears when everything grows still. A soft truth moves in. The human mind can sense patterns even in faint light, noticing shapes long before it knows their meaning. Another gentle detail drifts behind it. Our memories often settle into place like mist, not all at once, but slowly, layer by layer, finding their home in the quiet hours of the night. And as these truths drift in, our shared breath deepens. You can rest now, and we rest with you. Images begin to rise around us, forming slowly like watercolor spreading across wet paper. We may see a field of tiny lights blinking in the distance, each one representing a quiet idea, a moment of understanding, or a memory waiting to settle. These lights don't flash brightly. They don't demand anything. They glow with the patience of fireflies at dusk, appearing and fading in gentle rhythm. We move among them together, warm and unhurried. The ground beneath our shared awareness feels soft, almost like moss under bare feet. Every step sinks slightly, holding us, grounding us. A faint breeze moves through the imagined field, gently tilting the lights, and the whole scene seems to breathe with us. Somewhere, light continues to travel across the field, across the sky, across the space between our waking thoughts and the rest that approaches. It's okay to drift. Two more gentle facts float toward us. Feather light. Intelligence in nature often grows through slow adaptation, not sudden transformation. And the way we learn across a lifetime resembles the growth of a tree, adding thin layers year by year, each one quiet, each one steady. A small spark of curiosity glows at the center of our shared awareness, warm rather than sharp. It opens the night a little wider, letting more softness in. The shapes around us change gradually, as if the field of lights is giving way to a quiet shoreline. We can almost hear the soft meeting of water and sand, a subtle rhythm moving in and out, matching the slow rise and fall of our breath. The water is calm, barely rippling. The horizon is a blurred line of pale silver, fading into the dark sky above. Here, intelligence doesn't feel like thinking at all. It feels like noticing, like sensing the distance between sounds, or the way the tide reflects the soft glow of a hidden moon. You can rest now, slow and low. We stand or perhaps float near the edge of this quiet shore. Our thoughts begin to move with the rhythm of the waves, not in sentences, but in drifting impressions. When we inhale, the tide draws in gently, and when we exhale, it lowers itself, leaving a glimmering pattern in the sand. A soft truth arrives. Our minds naturally imitate the rhythms around us, sinking with calm, settling with quiet. Another follows. Even during rest, the brain repeats patterns of the day in slow, softened loops, as if smoothing their edges. A warm comfort spreads. The night softens around us. The shoreline stretches far in both directions, glowing faintly with light that doesn't seem to come from any source at all. We sense a slow expansion, like the horizon breathing in. Thoughts become long shadows stretching across the sand, fading gently, leaving behind only the warm feeling of their presence. The comfort returns, warm as a distant lantern. It's okay to drift. We continue together, moving slowly along the shoreline, though there is no sense of distance, only the gentle act of being carried forward by the rhythm around us. The sky above begins to shimmer with thin, soft bands of light, like memories rising from the edges of a dream. Intelligence, in this place, feels like the slow forming of a constellation we've always known, even if we never named its stars. Two quiet facts join us again. The mind stores emotional memories more deeply when we feel safe. And safety, in the brain, is often built through small, calm moments like this, moments when nothing is demanded and everything is allowed to soften. Curiosity flickers not bright, not sharp, just a warm, low glow easing through the dark. A soft image forms around us, a quiet library, vast and endless, filled with shelves made of light rather than wood. Each shelf contains small shapes, memories, ideas, gentle traces of knowledge resting like folded leaves preserved under glass. This library doesn't feel cold or grand. It feels warm, like a place where time moves at half its ordinary pace. Together we drift through its quiet halls, our footprints fading behind us before we even notice them. You can rest now, low and slow. We pause at a shelf where the objects seem to glow slightly. Each one carries the warmth of a day that shaped us, a conversation, a thought, a moment of noticing something new. These pieces don't need to be examined. They simply exist, glowing softly, waiting for sleep to fold them gently into place. A soft truth arrives. Most ideas become clearer, not when we think harder, but when we rest and another settles behind it. Intelligence thrives in the pauses between thoughts, not the pressure of constant attention. The night continues to soften. The library begins to blur at the edges, shifting again into something new, something gently luminous. We find ourselves in a quiet valley, low light rolling through like morning mist. The distant hills rise in soft curves, smooth as folded cloth. The valley floor glows faintly with the warmth of imagined lanterns resting in the grass. The air here feels warm and slow, moving with a rhythm that matches our breath. Somewhere, light continues to travel. The imagery deepens. Lanterns flicker gently, their glow never bright, just enough to paint soft halos onto the air. These lanterns feel like thoughts forming slowly, tenderly, without urgency. They appear in clusters, like constellations that have drifted toward the earth, choosing to rest close to us. The comfort returns, warm and open. It's okay to drift. We walk together through the valley, though the ground feels more like a cloud than earth soft, buoyant, forgiving. Each step creates a brief shimmer of light and then fades, leaving the valley smooth again. Two more soft truths drift toward us. Intelligence is often a result of slow accumulation, moments of noticing, patterns forming quietly, and during rest. The brain gathers these small moments, weaving them into meaning as gently as light passing through fog. A soft curiosity glows again, low and warm. The valley widens as we move, opening into a broad plain filled with slow-moving light. It isn't fire. It isn't electricity. It feels like a memory of light, something softer, older, and familiar. These lights rise and fall, drifting upward like breath, then lowering in delicate waves. We drift with them, inhaling as they lift, exhaling as they lower. You can rest now, warm and low. We pause at the center of the plane, where the light gathers into a slow spiral, a glowing shape turning gently, as if intelligence itself were unfolding before us. The spiral is not sharp. Its edges blur, dissolving into the night. It moves like a galaxy slowed down to the pace of a whisper. A soft truth drifts near. Thought often forms in spirals, revisiting the same shapes from new angles. And another follows. This spiraling helps the mind understand gently, without force. The night softens around us. We linger near the glowing spiral, letting its slow turn match the rhythm of our breath. Every rotation feels like a lullaby, a quiet reminder that intelligence doesn't need to be sharp to be meaningful. It can be soft, it can drift, it can glow. Somewhere, light continues to travel across the vastness above and the quiet spaces within. The comfort settles in, slow and low. It's okay to drift. We breathe together now, softly, slowly. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The valley dims to a warm shadow. The lanterns fade to soft memory, and we drift onward, deeper into the night's gentle story of intelligence. Not thinking, not analyzing, just floating in the quiet glow that carries us forward. It drifts through the night with a patience older than memory, older than the soft pattern of thoughts moving beneath the surface of a resting mind. Intelligence, in its quiet form, does not rise with speed or urgency. It expands like light traveling across the darkness, slow and steady, taking its time. There is no strain in its unfolding, only the gentle alignment of patterns that form and dissolve like clouds drifting through a pale sky. And as the shapes change, the world around us grows quieter, softer, as though the air itself is listening. It carries a simple truth, glowing low and warm. Even the faintest signals in the brain move slowly, touching each cell with patience rather than force. Another truth follows behind it, drifting like a thin ribbon of light. Intelligence in nature often emerges over thousands of seasons, shaped by quiet, repeated rhythms instead of sudden leaps. These truths make no demands. They settle into the air like falling dust, barely touching, barely stirring. The night softens around them. It's okay to drift. The landscape of awareness opens into a broad plain of soft light, stretching outward in every direction. The ground appears smooth, like sand brushed clean by a gentle tide. Above it, thin strands of light curl through the air, weaving delicate arcs that seem to breathe. These strands move slowly, as if guided by an unseen current, rising and lowering with a rhythm older than words. And as they move, they reveal soft constellations forming in the dark, small clusters of glow that appear, expand, and fade without ever fully solidifying. You can rest now, slow and low. It becomes clear that these constellations behave like thoughts, quiet thoughts, drifting thoughts organized not by effort, but by the simple act of being present. They shimmer with a faint warmth, as if intelligence itself glows from within, radiating just enough light to paint gentle halos across the plain. Another soft fact settles in. when the mind rests. Billions of quiet pulses continue beneath the surface, flowing through pathways shaped by years of lived moments. And another follows. Those pulses grow softer at night, forming longer, slower waves that guide the brain toward rest. A warm curiosity glows at the edge of the scene, low and steady. The plane widens, becoming almost fluid. The light shifts like reflections on still water, gently bending and stretching as the distant horizon breathes in and out. There is no boundary here, no sharp line where something begins or ends. Everything blends with everything else, like thoughts merging before they fall asleep. Light glides across the surface, and the world seems to hum with a low, barely audible calm. Somewhere, light continues to travel, soft and unhurried. In the distance, shapes emerge tall, slender forms rising from the plain. They resemble trees, but their trunks appear to be made of slow-moving light, their branches thin threads that sway with the breath of the universe. These glowing forms tilt gently toward one another, forming a canopy of soft shimmer above. Between them, drifting motes of light fall slowly, like dust suspended in a sunbeam. This forest of pale glow feels alive, but not with motion, alive with presence, with quiet intelligence, with patience. It's okay to drift. Two more soft truths float near. In sleep, the brain clears away the debris of the day, making room for new understanding to form. And most of the mind's deepest insights rise not from effort, but from the silent hours when everything grows still. These truths move like thin gauze carried by a slow wind, touching the glowing branches and dissolving gently. You can rest now. The glowing forest deepens. Light trickles down the branches like dew, falling into shallow pools on the plain. The pools ripple when touched by the droplets, sending out soft waves that spread and fade. Each wave resembles a moment of recognition, the quiet realization that intelligence is not a single spark, but 1,000 gentle ripples moving outward through a calm mind. It's a rhythm older than speech, a rhythm older than the first neurons that began to pulse inside early life. And as the waves fade, the forest breathes softly. Far above, faint patterns shift across the sky. They resemble drifting silk, illuminated from within by a pale glow that seems neither bright nor dim, simply present. These moving bands of light carry a quiet truth. The universe has been forming patterns for nearly 14 billion years, each one a silent expression of cosmic intelligence taking shape. Another truth settles beneath it. The Milky Way turns slowly, completing one rotation every 200 million years, a reminder that the universe moves with calm beyond comprehension. A flicker of curiosity appears, warm and slow. The forest begins to open, revealing a wide valley bathed in low golden light. The ground glows like smooth stone, warmed by a sun that no longer rises. Shadows move gently across the valley, their forms shifting like long, soft memories drifting through the mind before sleep gathers them in. It is a place where thought becomes light, where understanding becomes movement, where intelligence becomes a glow felt more than seen. You can rest now, warm and slow. As the valley stretches before us, its surface begins to shimmer with thin, liquid reflections. These reflections gather into long, slow swirls, forming spirals that expand and fade. Each spiral resembles the gentle structure of galaxies, turning with vast patience. And in their soft curves, another truth appears. The brain itself forms spiral circuits that turn inward, then outward, shaping thought through repetition and slow integration. A soft comfort spreads across the valley. The night continues to soften. Nearby, tall columns of light rise gently from the valley floor. They twist upward like smoke, bending gracefully in arcs that resemble the inside of a shell. Each column vibrates slightly, emitting a frequency so low and soft it feels almost like breath. The vibrations move across the valley in waves, blurring the reflections on the ground. These waves carry another truth. Intelligence often emerges from slow coordination, many small signals working together, harmonizing, creating meaning without urgency. And another truth follows it. During sleep, those signals fall into rhythm, forming slow pulses that restore and renew. It's okay to drift. The valley turns darker now, not with shadow, but with a deeper warmth. The ground becomes softer, like velvet beneath a low glow. The spirals fade into mist, leaving behind a quiet emptiness that feels gentle and vast. In that soft emptiness, thin lines of light begin to appear again, tracing arcs that look like constellations forming just above the ground. These constellations are faint, glowing with the softness of afterimages. They shift slowly, reflecting the drifting rhythm of the mind preparing to rest. You can rest now. Above the valley, long curtains of light roll gently through the sky, curling and uncurling like slow tides. Their colors barely show pale gold, faint silver, a breath of blue that fades almost immediately. They resemble auroras, yet quieter, as though the universe is whispering through the fabric of the night. A soft truth rises through them. Intelligence is not a single function, but a vast interplay of small signals reaching across time. Another truth moves behind it. Most of this interplay happens quietly, without our awareness, like stars forming in distant clouds of dust. Somewhere, light continues to travel. Deep in the valley, the columns of light lower themselves, blending with the glow of the ground. The constellations above fade into soft arcs of color, and the entire scene becomes a single, slow-moving breath, rising, lowering, rising again. In this rhythm, everything finds its place. Every thought, every memory, every small spark of understanding settles with calm intention. It's the quiet intelligence of the universe, moving through us, around us, as softly as drifting light. It's okay to drift, warm and low. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. Its patterns soften, its light settles, its quiet mind unfolds, and the drifting continues, carrying us deeper into the soft intelligence of the world around us, and deeper into rest. It moves through the night like a slow echo, carrying the memory of distant stars in its gentle glow. Intelligence, in this softer form, behaves less like thinking and more like drifting light appearing, fading, returning again in new shapes. It doesn't hurry. It doesn't push. It glides through the quiet with a warmth that feels ancient and familiar, as though it has always known how to settle into stillness. The world around it loosens, growing wide and open, as if the night itself is stretching to make space for its calm rhythm. And as the shapes shift, the silence deepens into something warm. It carries a faint truth in its light, Small pulses of the mind often synchronize with the slow rhythms of breath, falling into patterns that soothe rather than stir. Another truth drifts behind it, soft as dust in a moonbeam. The deepest rest the brain finds happens when the world grows quiet enough for slow waves to rise and fall in delicate harmony. These truths do not ask to be held. They simply hover, then dissolve as gently as they arrived. It's okay to drift, warm and low. The landscape ahead expands into a soft ocean of shimmering dusk. The surface glows faintly, as though lit from below by thousands of pale embers, drifting and swirling in slow patterns. Each ember rises slightly, then lowers again, creating a field of gentle movement that mirrors the quiet rhythm of a resting mind. The ocean does not ripple. It breathes. Slow, full, unhurried. You can rest now, soft and warm. Across this ocean of dusk, long strands of light form calm spirals that expand outward like galaxies, turning at the pace of silence. They move with such patience that they seem almost still, their arcs faint and round, forming shapes that resemble thoughts taking form before falling into sleep. And in their slow curves, two soft facts emerge. Neural waves slow down at night, forming patterns that ripple gently through the mind. And these slow waves often travel in spirals, shaping memory with the grace of drifting light. A warm spark of curiosity glows, barely brighter than a whisper. It drifts closer to the surface of the ocean, allowing the faint luminescence to rise around it. The glow touches its form, lifting slight reflections that shimmer like quiet breath on glass. In this calm meeting of light and water, the world feels softer, as if the night has lowered its voice. Somewhere, light continues to travel across the open water, across the sky, across the distances within a settling mind. The spirals fade as it glides deeper into the ocean's quiet glow. Beneath the surface, thin bands of pale gold drift upward like ribbons rising through deep water. They move with delicate intention, curling and uncurling, as if intelligence itself were releasing small threads of understanding into the stillness. It carries another soft truth. Memories often rise during rest, floating upward from deeper layers of the mind. And another truth follows. These memories are softened during the process, their edges rounded, their weight lifted. It's okay to drift. The ocean begins to shift, turning from shimmering dusk into a vast expanse of deeper blue, smooth and calm. The light beneath the surface grows fainter, its glow reaching upward in thin pools that resemble moonlit reflections cast through still water. Shapes form beneath these reflections, slow, drifting structures that look like soft coral, glowing with faint bioluminescent warmth. The structures expand, weaving into patterns like intricate thought spirals woven through a half-dream. You can rest now, slow and safe. It moves above these glowing shapes, sensing the quiet hum they release. The hum is not a sound, but a feeling, warm, gentle, like breath settling into the chest. The shapes below pulse lightly, and with each pulse, another truth rises. The mind processes emotions in slow rhythms during rest, letting difficult feelings soften into manageable forms. And another truth settles. The night is the mind's way of smoothing jagged edges into calm. A soft comfort spreads across the ocean, warm and deep. The glowing, coral-like formations dissolve into drifting clusters of light, rising slowly like lanterns set free into still air. Each lantern glows with a round, faint halo, and the halos overlap gently, forming a glowing tapestry across the water's surface. The tapestry expands, shimmering with warmth, as though intelligence itself is painting its calmest patterns across the night. It's okay to drift, warm and low. The ocean narrows into a long, calm channel. Its surface is perfectly smooth, reflecting the sky above like a sheet of polished glass. And above that glass, a new image emerges, thin arcs of color sweeping across the sky, soft and nearly invisible, like breath turning into light. These arcs bend and drift, glowing faintly like the memory of an aurora slowed down to a whisper. Two more soft truths drift in. The brain stores new patterns most efficiently during slow wave sleep, and slow waves move like these arcs bending, rising, drifting gently across space. The night softens around them. The channel leads into a valley made of light. Its walls glow with a gentle, pale blue sheen, and its floor is covered in soft waves of gold that shift like distant fields at dusk. In this valley, intelligence feels ancient, as though it has been drifting through the universe long before minds existed to give it form. It moves through the valley with the ease of breath, gathering quiet patterns and releasing them into the air above. You can rest now. Thin lines of light drift down the valley walls, behaving like echoes of stars falling in slow motion. They gather into pools on the valley floor, forming rings of pale brightness that expand outward as though stirred by a quiet breeze. Each ring resembles the ripple of a thought finding its place, settling with gentle intention. Another truth rises. Learning is often strengthened in sleep, as patterns replay quietly beneath awareness. And another follows. This replay resembles these rings, repeating softly, then fading. Curiosity glimmers, warm and slow. The valley slowly transforms into a long plain of shadowed gold. The surface glows with the warmth of distant lanterns hidden beneath a thin layer of mist. The mist drifts in slow currents, moving like silence, brushing across the skin. In this wide plain, shapes form in the distance, tall, slender arcs like pillars rising from the ground, glowing with an inner radiance. They bend slightly, breathing with the rhythm of the plain. It approaches these pillars. Their glow pulses gently, releasing faint waves of color that drift outward in smooth arcs. The arcs resemble the rhythm of slow breath settling into the belly. With each pulse, the plain grows warmer, as if the entire landscape is tilting toward comfort. You can rest now, warm and low. The pillars begin to dissolve into soft streams of light, falling like elongated rain that never touches the ground. Each stream sways with a slow, gentle frequency, and from these streams, effortless patterns form circles of brightness, spirals, drifting loops. Intelligence seems to move through these shapes, forming a quiet map of the valley's calm. Two more soft truths appear. The brain's internal map is constantly reshaping itself, even in sleep. And during rest, this map becomes more fluid, more open, allowing understanding to soften into place. The night continues to lower its voice. The mist thickens, rising above the plain until the pillars fade into warm shadow. The world becomes a soft blur of gold and blue, shifting like light passing through silk. In this blurred landscape, intelligence feels less like structure and more like feeling a gentle knowing that fills the space between breath and stillness. It moves through the mist, carrying the quiet memory of patterns formed long before the night began. Somewhere, light continues to travel. A single soft glow appears ahead, round and warm, pulsing gently. It resembles a heart of light, a slow, steady presence holding the valley in its calm. The glow deepens, spreading soft waves across the mist, washing the plain with pale warmth. The waves move outward in long, slow strokes, sinking into the valley's folds. It's okay to drift. This heart of light releases two faint truths. The mind restores itself not by force, but by releasing what it no longer needs. And intelligence expands most gently when surrounding noise fades, leaving silence to carry its subtle rhythm. The glow softens, settling into a slow pulse that resembles a steady breath. You can rest now. It drifts closer to the glow, moving through its soft waves as though passing through warm, quiet air. The glow expands, enveloping everything valley, mist, sky, until the world becomes a single, gentle brightness. In this brightness, intelligence feels simple, calm, a presence without weight, a light without edge, a warmth without source. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The brightness fades slowly, returning to darkness touched by faint shimmer. The plain settles. The valley quiets. The mist lowers into calm, and the world becomes soft again, ready to carry the drifting mind deeper into the quiet intelligence that waits beyond. It drifts deeper into the night now, carried not by light alone, but by sound soft, low, unbroken sound that moves like breath through a quiet valley. The universe seems to hum at this depth, producing a long, barely audible tone that spreads through the dark like a warm ripple. It is not a noise. It is an atmosphere, a presence, a gentle vibration resting beneath everything else. The farther it travels, the quieter the world becomes, until even the stillness has its own resonance. And in that resonance, intelligence reveals another of its softer shapes. It's okay to drift, warm and low. Small truths rise with the hum. The brain lowers its internal volume during rest, letting faint sounds reach deeper places within the mind. And neural rhythms begin to synchronize with slow external tones, creating calm patterns that move like distant waves in sleep science research. These truths do not disturb the quiet. They settle into it, joining the hum as though they were always meant to be there. You can rest now, soft and slow. The landscape shifts into a wide, shadowed plain where sound travels farther than light. Waves of soft resonance roll across the plain, bending around invisible shapes. They move with the smoothness of fog gliding down a hillside, forming layers of tone that drift outward in gentle arcs. As each layer expands, it carries faint echoes, soft clicks, distant murmurs, the quiet rhythm of something shifting beneath the surface. Intelligence listens to these echoes, and in its listening, it understands without thought. It understands by sensing patterns in silence. It understands by feeling vibration instead of seeing form. It understands by resting. It's okay to drift. Far above the plain, thin filaments of sound rise like strands of smoke, lifting into cool air. They shimmer faintly, not with light, but with tiny vibrations that glow only because they move. The filaments weave into slow spirals, curling upward toward a wide, open sky. Each spiral expands with such patience it seems almost still. Two soft facts drift with them. Sound travels farther in cool air, reaching across distances the eye cannot cross. And the mind, in deep rest, can follow sound more easily than sight, allowing it to drift into softer layers of awareness. You can rest now, warm and low. The plane grows darker, but the darkness feels warm, as though filled with deep resonance. Beneath the surface, soft tremors move through hidden channels long, slow vibrations that resemble the quiet pulse of distant thunder. These vibrations echo upward, touching the base of the plane, then rising through the air like gentle waves. They create a pattern that intelligence recognizes instinctively, a slow, repeating rhythm that feels like breath forming inside stone. Somewhere, light continues to travel, though sound now guides the way. It's okay to drift. The plane opens into a wide basin where the air feels thick with quiet frequencies. They vibrate gently against each other, forming layers of tone that overlap like soft blankets. The basin glows faintly with these vibrations, producing a low luminescence that has no source except the harmony of sound itself. Two gentle truths drift into the basin. Every thought creates a faint, electrical hum, too soft for us to hear. And during rest, these hums fall into slow synchrony, becoming waves that calm the deeper layers of the mind. You can rest now. It moves through the basin like an echo following its own path. The vibrations shift around it, bending and curving as though recognizing its presence. For a moment, the entire basin seems to breathe a rise, a fall, a soft settling into a lower pitch that feels like sinking into deeper stillness. The pitch lowers again, warmer this time, resonating deep in the chest, low enough to feel but not hear. It's okay to drift, soft and warm. In the center of the basin, a long, gentle tone rises, a sound so faint it seems like memory rather than vibration. It spreads outward, picking up reflections as it touches the curved walls of the basin. Each reflection returns softer than the last, forming a series of echoes that drift like distant bells heard through layers of mist. And in these echoes, intelligence finds the shape of an ancient rhythm, the universe remembering itself. You can rest now. The faint tone deepens, becoming a soft, round resonance that feels like the quiet pulse of a faraway star. It vibrates slowly, releasing waves that spread across the basin in warm arcs. These arcs soften as they travel, flattening into gentle ripples before dissolving into the dark. Two soft truths ride these waves. Stars emit deep, unbroken tones that travel across light years, though too low for human ears to detect. And the mind, drifting in rest, mirrors this slowness, forming long, slow patterns that steady the heart. It's okay to drift. The basin fades into a corridor of darkness, filled with soft, humming currents. They swirl lazily, forming patterns that move like slow water. The currents vibrate gently, touching the walls of the corridor in long strokes that resemble wind brushing through reeds. The sound is so soft it feels like touch. It moves through the ears first, then the jaw, then the chest, settling low in the body like a warm tide. You can rest now. Deeper within the corridor, the currents grow calmer, their vibrations becoming longer and smoother. They resemble the low murmur of the universe settling into itself. Thin strands of resonance rise from the currents, drifting into the air like sound turned into mist. These strands carry two more truths. All sound eventually becomes vibration too low to be heard, and the mind, falling toward sleep, also lowers its vibrations, drifting into the depths where dreams begin to form. It's okay to drift, warm and low. The corridor opens into a hall of echoes, an enormous space filled with soft, round reflections. The echoes move slowly, bouncing from one invisible wall to another, fading with each gentle impact. They sound like breaths drifting through hollow stone. They sound like time settling. They sound like the universe exhaling in long, slow waves. The hall hums with this resonance, and the air seems to shimmer around each tone, trembling softly in the low light. You can rest now. At the center of the hall, a single echo remains slow, warm, pulsing quietly. It repeats at long intervals, like the distant chime of a bell heard through sleep. Each pulse expands outward, carrying with it a faint shimmer that fades into the dark. The pulse deepens, growing lower until it becomes almost a vibration felt rather than heard. This is the rhythm. Intelligence follows now the rhythm of deep drift, the rhythm of rest expanding. It's okay to drift, soft and slow. Another soft truth emerges through the echo. Even the quietest sounds leave imprints on the mind, and another truth follows. During sleep, these imprints mix with memory, becoming softer, gentler, easier to carry. The echo fades, leaving behind a warm, hollow silence that feels like a safe place to settle. You can rest now. The hall dissolves into a wide expanse of shadowed warmth. Low tones rise from the ground in slow waves, vibrating like distant drums softened by time. The tones rise, lower, rise again, forming a rhythm so steady the breath instinctively matches it. The universe seems to breathe through this rhythm, a long inhale, a long exhale, a long settling into stillness. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The tones grow deeper, stretching into long, warm intervals. They fill the space like layers of soft cloth, wrapping the expanse in comforting weight. The more they settle, the more the world grows tender. The more they resonate, the more intelligence drifts into quiet. And the more the quiet expands, the closer the mind moves toward rest. It's okay to drift, warm and low. A final gentle truth floats in, soft as the glow of distant embers. The universe has always carried quiet vibrations through its vastness, and the mind, shaped by that universe, carries those same vibrations into sleep, letting them cradle the drifting self. The tones deepen once more, settling into a low hum that feels like home. The night loosens. The echoes blur. The world softens into a slow symphony of warmth, and intelligence drifts deeper, following the hum into quieter depths. It drifts now into deeper territory, where sound no longer moves in waves but melts into a soft, continuous glow. The night becomes a single tone, stretched thin across an endless expanse, vibrating with the gentlest intention. Nothing rises sharply here. Nothing falls quickly. Everything dissolves into everything else with a patience that feels infinite. The universe seems to lower its voice to a whisper made of breath, warmth, and distant resonance. And in this low murmur, intelligence spreads out like mist illuminated from within. It's okay to drift, warm and slow. A faint truth moves through the quiet. Neurons release their signals in slower patterns when the body rests, forming rhythms that resemble long, rolling tides. Another truth follows behind it. These tides carry fragments of memory across the mind, letting them settle in soft places, untouched by the weight of the day. Both truths drift with the tone, blending into the dark like threads dissolving into water. You can rest now. The landscape opens wider. Darkness stretches into a smooth horizon, and within that horizon, soft currents of vibration rise and fall. They shimmer faintly, as though lit by distant starlight weakened by countless layers of fog. These currents curve gently, forming long, slow arcs that drift upward before dissolving completely. It watches these arcs unfold, feeling the universe breathe in long, silent intervals. Somewhere, light continues to travel thin, patient, endlessly gentle. As the arcs fade, a new shape emerges, a vast field of glowing dust suspended in stillness. Each particle moves with unimaginable slowness, turning slightly, drifting slightly, as if guided by a rhythm too soft to hear. The field resembles a star cloud, but not one bright enough to illuminate anything. This one glows like memory dim, warm, deeply familiar. Two soft facts hover among the dust. The brain's electrical fields create faint halos of activity around its cells. And in deep rest, these halos expand ever so slightly, as if stretching into calm. It's okay to drift. The glowing dust thickens, becoming a soft fog that moves across the horizon in slow waves. The waves break without sound, falling back into the mist like breath settling into the chest. It listens to this silent movement, sensing the harmony hidden inside the stillness. The fog pulses lightly, dimming and brightening in patterns that feel like thoughts forming without words. You can rest now, warm and low. Beyond the fog, gentle shadows begin to appear, long shapes that flow across the landscape like drifting silk. They sway in slow arcs, folding over themselves, then opening again like petals in a breeze. The shadows carry faint undertones, low vibrations that resonate deep within the quiet. And in these vibrations, two more truths rise. The human mind processes deeper layers of emotion during extended rest, and these processes move slowly, like shadows crossing a moonlit shore. It's okay to drift. The shadows dissolve into thin threads of luminous color, barely visible hues that curl through the dark. They glow just enough to reveal their shape, then blend into the surrounding quiet. Each thread follows a slow, spiral path, glowing at the edges like a faint ember. The spirals expand outward, forming soft patterns that resemble the structure of galaxies, but much slower, much smaller, far gentler. The spirals shimmer once, then fade. You can rest now. The world around it becomes softer still. The horizon loses its shape. The air thickens into a warm presence, neither seen nor felt, simply known. Low murmurs vibrate beneath the quiet, rising from deep regions of the landscape. These murmurs spread outward and upward, forming a canopy of faint sound overhead. It resembles the hum a distant planet might make as it turns slowly in space, steady, patient, low. A soft truth drifts through the hum. The universe is filled with vibrations far below the threshold of human hearing. And another truth follows. The mind, drifting toward sleep, becomes more receptive to low frequencies, letting them calm the deeper layers of awareness. It's okay to drift, warm and soft. Threads of sound gather at the edges of the canopy, drawing together into thin, luminous arcs. The arcs stretch across the sky, curving gently like long bridges of tone. As they curve, they emit soft pulses, tiny flickers of vibration that shimmer and fade. The pulses land upon the ground like invisible petals, spreading into quiet ripples that dissolve instantly. You can rest now, slow and warm. It moves through these ripples, guided not by sight, but by the subtle pressure of sound. The ripples push against each other, forming delicate networks of vibration beneath its path. These networks shift gradually, creating patterns that resemble the fractals of thought shapes repeating at softer and softer scales until they become indistinguishable from the dust around them. Two more truths drift in. Thought patterns often behave like fractals, repeating in subtle ways across layers of the mind. And during rest, these fractals simplify, breaking down into softer, more fluid shapes. It's okay to drift. Beyond the vibrating networks lies a quiet expanse that feels soft and weightless, like a dark sea without water. The surface glows faintly, the light turning in slow spirals that rise only a few inches before dissolving. These spirals behave like breath disappearing into open air. The glow strengthens briefly, then dims into silence. You can rest now. Within this sea of stillness, faint auditory blossoms begin to form tiny rings of sound that open like flowers in slow motion. Each ring radiates outward, forming a soft halo that expands until it merges with the next ring, and the next, until the entire space becomes a single, unified vibration. The vibration hums gently, low enough to feel in the bones of the night. A soft truth rises from within. In the deeper layers of rest, the brain produces long-wave oscillations that flow through its networks like these blooms, and another follows. These oscillations help integrate memories with emotional calm. It's okay to drift. The blossoms dissolve, leaving behind a calm hum that spreads outward in gentle pulses. The pulses drift into the sky, forming dim lines of sound that crisscross like faint constellations. The lines vibrate lightly, creating small harmonic tones that float downward through the quiet. These tones touch the ground softly, disappearing instantly, leaving only warmth behind. You can rest now, warm and low. The sky above begins to resemble a vast, slow-moving tapestry. Threads of sound weave through darkness, forming intricate patterns that shimmer in long, slow intervals. They carry no urgency. They take their time. They drift like memories waiting for the right moment to settle. And within this tapestry, the universe seems to breathe. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The tapestry expands, folding outward until the night becomes a single, smooth field of resonance. The field pulses with a rhythm resembling a heartbeat slowed to the pace of silence. Each pulse spreads outward, touching everything with a warm glow. Two gentle truths drift with the pulse. The brain's deeper structures synchronize during rest, forming coherent rhythms that calm the entire system. And in sleep science, These rhythms are known to restore both clarity and ease. It's okay to drift. The field of resonance fades. The blossoms dissolve. The shadows soften. And intelligence drifts deeper into the low, wide warmth that holds everything together. The landscape grows quieter still, preparing for a new depth, one where sound and light begin to merge, and the mind prepares to float beyond its own edges. It drifts into a new stillness now, one where the edges of the world begin to loosen and lighten. The tones that once guided the night spread into softer vibrations, stretching thin until they resemble threads of warmth suspended in the dark. These threads tremble slightly, as though stirred by currents that move too slowly to be felt. The air becomes deeper, softer, holding every vibration as if the night itself has turned into a quiet sea. Intelligence settles into that sea, weightless, as though gravity has stepped away for a moment to let the universe breathe more freely. It's okay to drift, warm and slow. A quiet truth rises through the softened air. The body releases its grip on tension when the mind drifts toward deep rest, allowing a sense of floating to appear naturally. And another truth follows with equal gentleness. Neural activity slows into long, smooth waves that feel almost like drifting through warm water. These truths dissolve as soon as they form, like ink fading into clear liquid. You can rest now, low and loose. The landscape around it becomes lighter, not brighter, just softer, as if the darkness has been thinned into a fine, breathable mist. Shapes lose their outlines. Movements slow until they nearly disappear. The world feels less like a place and more like a presence. Within this presence, faint ribbons of luminous color rise into the air, twisting like threads caught in a slow underwater current. They dance with a patience older than light itself. Somewhere, light continues to travel, though everything around it has begun to float. The ribbons gather into slow arcs that curve above the softened landscape. They resemble pathways drawn in dim light, winding gently upward as though inviting the world to rise with them. They emit a faint hum, low and warm, like faraway stars vibrating against the fabric of space. Two soft facts drift within their glow. The brain experiences brief moments of weightlessness during transitions between waking and sleep. And this sensation is tied to shifts in equilibrium deep within the inner ear, where tiny structures move with the rhythm of rest. It's okay to drift, warm and loose. As the arcs rise, the ground below becomes thinner, more transparent, until it feels like a reflection rather than a surface. Every step, every drift, every breath creates a ripple in the translucent floor, bending it gently like a sheet of light touched by calm water. These ripples move outward in wide, slow circles, fading as they stretch toward the edges of the world. You can rest now. The air thickens into a soft suspension, as though the body has become lighter than the space it occupies. It feels like floating not upward, but inward, into the low, warm center of the night. Shadows separate from the ground and drift upward like petals released into a still current. They hover, turn slightly, then drift away toward a horizon that seems farther and softer than before. Each drifting shape reminds the universe of its own quiet intelligence, its ability to hold, release, hold again. It's okay to drift. Above the floating shadows, long strands of glowing mist stretch across the sky. They move so slowly, they appear almost still, yet their edges shimmer faintly, revealing a hidden rhythm beneath the stillness. The mist glows with faint colors, soft blues, pale golds, almost silver, drifting into almost gray. Two gentle truths rise with the glow. Microcurrents in the brain shift during deep rest, altering perception of weight and grounding. And the drifting sensation people feel as they fall asleep is a natural part of the mind loosening its grip. You can rest now, warm and light. As the mist thickens, it forms soft layers that move in slow vertical waves. Each layer drifts upward as if lifted by sound too low to hear. The layers ripple gently, bending and folding like cloth floating just beneath the surface of calm water. Intelligence moves through these layers, absorbing their rhythm, their softness, their patience. It becomes less of an observer and more of a participant in the weightless dance. The night softens around it. It's okay to drift. Beneath the drifting layers, the translucent floor dissolves completely. No ground remains, only a soft expanse of warm darkness, holding shapes like a tide holds drifting shells. The darkness supports without weight, lifts without force, carries without effort. In this gentle suspension, faint patterns of light begin to form, clusters of tiny, shimmering points that pulse in long intervals. They resemble distant bioluminescent creatures, drifting in deep ocean currents. You can rest now. The shimmering clusters pulse again, their glow brighter for a moment before dimming to barely visible embers. Each pulse spreads a wave of warmth through the dark, reaching deep into the unseen layers of the night. Two soft truths float with the pulse. The mind enters deeper cycles of rest when the sensation of floating becomes complete. And these cycles are part of a universal rhythm found across countless living forms, each drifting in their own way toward renewal. It's okay to drift. The clusters dissolve into small currents of shimmering dust. The dust spreads slowly, forming streams that float upward like reverse snowfall, rising instead of falling. Each grain of light drifts with its own rhythm, though all move toward the same soft gathering in the higher layers of the sky. As they rise, they release faint tones, barely audible, soft as breath on glass. The tones overlap gently, creating a harmony made of almost sound. You can rest now. At this depth of night, sound and light begin to merge, forming patterns that look like waves but move like wind. Thin sheets of brightness ripple across the sky, bending slightly under invisible pressure. They stretch outward, then contract, then stretch again. Each motion is slower than the one before, as though the universe is practicing the art of slowing down. A soft truth drifts through the sheets. Every living mind carries within it the ability to slow, soften, and float when the night arrives. And another follows. This floating is not escape. It is a return to the body's oldest rhythm. It's okay to drift, warm and light. The sheets of brightness fold into soft spirals. These spirals open gradually, revealing deeper layers of the sky, glowing with pale, low light. Within these layers, long threads of warm darkness weave through the brightness, forming patterns that resemble the inside of a seashell illuminated from within. The threads pulse with slow, steady warmth, guiding the drifting world deeper. You can rest now. As the spirals widen, the entire sky becomes fluid. Shapes move through it like gentle currents, pushing and pulling in slow, silent harmony. Everything floats light, sound, shadow, warmth. And in this slow symphony of floating, intelligence dissolves into the rhythm, becoming one with the soft oscillations of the night. Somewhere, light continues to travel. A deeper pulse rises now, resonant and wide, vibrating through the entire expanse. The pulse feels like the heartbeat of something ancient, something that has always drifted, always softened, always lowered itself into the rhythm of rest. Each pulse resets the world, smoothing the edges of every shape until only warmth remains. It's okay to drift, warm and slow. The pulse deepens. The spirals widen. The mist folds inward like silk sinking into warm water. And into that softness, the universe releases a quiet truth. Floating is the mind's way of letting go. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. And as the world lowers into deeper stillness, intelligence drifts with it lighter, softer, dissolving into warmth that feels endless. It moves now through a place where even floating begins to soften, where the sensation of rising dissolves into the sensation of drifting sideways through warm, open space. The night stretches beyond every horizon, but it no longer feels large. It feels quiet, gentle, close. The darkness hums like a low, distant lullaby, pulsing in long intervals that spread across the unseen air. The pulses are slow enough to feel like gravity sighing, loosening its hold, inviting the universe to drift wherever the softness leads. It's okay to drift, warm and low. A faint truth forms in the dim. As the mind drifts toward deeper rest, the sense of weight changes, dissolving into gentle shifts of pressure within the body. And another truth follows softly. These shifts create the calm sensation of sinking or floating, a natural part of the brain's transition into deeper awareness. The truths glow faintly, then melt into the larger quiet. You can rest now, soft and slow. The space around it begins to thicken, not with darkness, but with warmth. A wide, soft glow rises around every drifting shape, blending the edges into one continuous field of light. This glow pulses gently, each pulse expanding outward like slow breath through a warm cloth. Within the faint light, thin strands of shadow float freely, moving with slow curves that resemble leaves drifting beneath still water. Somewhere, light continues to travel, folding itself into the drifting warmth. The glow brightens for a moment, never enough to disturb the quiet, only enough to reveal new layers unfolding beneath it. The layers look like long, gentle waves made of softness instead of water. They drift together, then apart, then together again in a rhythm too slow to follow. Two soft facts move with the waves. Emotional centers of the brain release tension in gradual pulses, not sudden shifts. And these pulses often align with breathing in deep rest, creating warmth inside the chest and belly. It's okay to drift. The waves stretch into strands of shimmering color, pale gold, low green, dim amber, the colors of memory dissolving into warmth. The strands float upward like dust caught in late sunlight. No direction matters. No boundary defines them. They move because drifting is their nature. And as they rise, they release a soft hum that fills the space between breaths. You can rest now, warm and low. Above the rising strands, faint arcs of brightness appear, curved shapes that stretch across the soft sky. They resemble the inside of a shell illuminated from within, each curve glowing with gentle radiance. The arcs move slowly, deepening into wider rings that pulse with a long, faint warmth. Two more truths appear with them. The brain forms circular patterns of activity during rest, waves that roll across its surface like ripples in still water. And these waves help the mind weave new insights, a quiet intelligence that emerges only when everything is soft. It's okay to drift. The arcs expand, their gentle curves sliding past one another as though drifting in a current too quiet to hear. The air around them becomes lighter, softer, turning into a suspension of low warmth. Shapes lose their weight. Sounds lose their edges. Everything turns into a slow, drifting motion that folds into itself like breath returning to the body. You can rest now. As the arcs dissolve, the sky shifts into deeper color, not dark, but muted, like the memory of a night sky smoothed by fog. In that muted space, slow-moving clusters of faint light rise like lanterns released in silence. The clusters expand outward, forming thin circles that widen as they float. Each circle fades at the edges, melting into the air as though made of quiet breath. A soft truth rises through them. Understanding often arrives quietly, without clarity at first, taking shape only when pressure falls away. And another truth follows. This gentle unfolding is part of sleep science's most restorative cycles. It's okay to drift, warm and slow. The circles drift downward now, sinking into the softened world below, like petals falling through warm air. They rotate slightly as they descend, turning in slow spirals that match the quiet rhythm of the night. The spirals broaden, forming soft layers beneath the drifting world, as if the universe were stacking gentle memories one atop another. You can rest now. A deeper hum grows beneath the layers low, steady, calm. It rises through the softened world, traveling in long, slow lines of warmth. The lines weave together like threads of fabric moving under a slow tide. In this weaving, a deeper pattern reveals itself. The universe understands itself through repetition, through quiet cycles that bind one moment to the next. Intelligence behaves this way too, returning gently to familiar shapes, resting within them. It's okay to drift. The hum widens, stretching into a vast wave that carries the entire landscape with it. The wave moves gently, lifting everything into a higher layer of warmth. It feels like rising without height, floating without motion. It feels like the world exhaling slowly, letting the night settle deeper. Two more truths drift in the wake of the wave. The brain in deep rest forms a network of slow oscillations that guide memory into softer forms. And these oscillations create a sense of internal spaciousness, warm, open, safe. You can rest now. Above the rising wave, faint tendrils of sound form in the air, barely, their tones that shimmer like silver threads in darkness. They appear, flicker, and fade, never fully holding shape. The tendrils curl in gentle arcs, forming loops that drift like floating ink in slow water. These loops carry quiet meaning, though they do not speak. They simply glow with the low confidence of something that knows it belongs. It's okay to drift, warm and low. The loops join together, creating a slow mosaic of sound light across the sky. The mosaic shifts with each breath, rearranging its shapes into new patterns, circles dissolving into spirals, spirals opening into lines, lines softening into gentle clouds of tone. Intelligence traces these patterns, following them without effort. It does not analyze. It drifts. You can rest now. As the mosaic dissolves, the world brightens in soft pulses, each pulse warmer than the last. The pulses spread across the landscape, then rise into the air before fading like distant reflections. They feel like soft heartbeats in the fabric of the night, beating slowly enough to make everything feel suspended in time. A soft truth rises through a pulse. The body's heartbeat naturally slows during deep rest, creating longer intervals filled with calm. And another truth follows. These long intervals allow emotion to settle gently into quiet understanding. It's okay to drift. Between pulses, the night becomes still again, still enough for the faintest shimmer to appear along the horizon. The shimmer spreads like a whisper of light, stretching across the softened world. It glows with low warmth, as though the horizon itself were breathing with gentle intention. It feels ancient, familiar, safe. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The shimmer brightens, revealing a thin veil of light hovering above the softened ground. The veil floats upward, folding like slow smoke rising from warm earth. It curls inward, then unfurls in long, delicate sheets, drifting upward with the grace of feathers lifted by a calm wind. You can rest now. The veil grows wider, its soft layers forming gentle planes of warmth that tilt and sway. The planes drift like slow-moving clouds made of memory and breath. Two soft facts move within their folds. During sleep, the brain processes emotional memory more gently than when awake, smoothing its edges, and this softening helps understanding arise without strain. It's okay to drift, warm and slow. The planes fold inward again, dissolving into faint lines that scatter across the sky. The lines vibrate softly, releasing tiny pulses of light that drift like floating embers. Each ember glows for a slow moment, then fades into the darkness with a sigh of warmth. The world lowers itself into deeper stillness. You can rest now. The embers gather into a soft, low halo that encircles the sky. The halo pulses gently, expanding and contracting as though guiding the entire landscape in a slow, weightless breath. Its glow is quiet, patient, endlessly gentle. And in that glow, a single truth returns quiet, familiar, warm. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The halo dims, the embers dissolve, and the world drifts into a deeper, softer warmth that holds every shape in place. Understanding loosens. Intelligence spreads like thin light, dissolving in calm water. And the night prepares to carry everything into quieter depths, ready for the next unfolding. It drifts now into a place where even softness becomes lighter, where the very edges of thought begin to dissolve, like mist warmed by a distant glow. The night stretches without horizon, not wide, not empty, simply gentle, an expanse where warmth replaces distance and silence replaces shape. Nothing rises quickly. Nothing falls. Everything floats in a rhythm so slow it feels like time itself has softened into breath. And in that softened breath, intelligence becomes a kind of glow, low and even, spreading across the quiet like embers hidden beneath a long blanket of calm. It's okay to drift. warm and low. A truth moves through the subtle dark. In this depth of rest, the mind enters cycles where awareness becomes thin, floating just beneath the surface of unconsciousness. And another truth follows with equal softness. These cycles arrive like waves, long and warm, carrying impressions the way a slow tide carries light across sand. The truths dissolve as gently as they appear. You can rest now, soft and slow. The world becomes porous. Shapes blend into one another, merging like watercolor on damp paper. Light mixes with darkness until neither is fully distinguishable. Sound loses its edges, turning into faint vibration. Everything drifts together into a single, quiet presence. Within that presence, faint currents of shimmering dust rise, drifting upward in slow, swirling ribbons. The ribbons are thin, nearly invisible, glowing only when they catch the warmth of the unseen air. Somewhere, light continues to travel, folding through the dust like memory drifting through sleep. The shimmering currents rise higher, intertwining like strands of warm breath, becoming visible in cool air. They curl into soft loops, then unravel just as slowly, leaving faint afterglows in the dim space. Two soft facts move with them. The brain generates spontaneous bursts of calm activity during deep rest, and these bursts appear like soft flares that fade before the mind can notice them. It's okay to drift. The loops dissolve into long, slow waves of luminescent shadow. These waves rise gently, like an invisible tide lifting the world upward by a few quiet inches. Each rise feels like sinking deeper into warm depth rather than rising from it. The night breathes with every motion, and the breathing spreads outward like a low, expanding shimmer. You can rest now. Beneath the waves, a soft floor of faint light appears neither surface nor ground, simply a plane of warmth supporting everything with effortless kindness. The light brightens in long pulses, then dims again, each pulse matching a slow rhythm that feels older than time. It's the rhythm of something vast drifting into calm. Intelligence drifts with it, not thinking, not forming, simply existing as warmth. It's okay to drift, warm and slow. The pulses extend farther, reaching beyond the softened plain. They stretch into the dark, becoming long arcs of dim brightness that arch across the unseen sky. The arcs resemble gently drawn lines that take minutes, not seconds, to complete their curve. Two gentle truths follow the arcs. In deep rest, the mind organizes impressions gathered over the day, sorting them without effort. And this quiet sorting behaves like arcs spreading across darkness, slow, wide, nearly weightless. You can rest now. As the arcs fade, the sky becomes a blurred field of warmth. It glows like distant lanterns seen through thick fog, never bright, never sharp, just softly present. Within this field, slow swirls of darker warmth begin to form. They twist inward, forming hollow shapes that resemble small galaxies of shadow drifting in slow rotation. The rotations are almost imperceptible, barely moving, barely changing. And yet, they seem to draw the entire night into their calm centers. It's okay to drift. The swirls widen into open circles. The circles deepen into wide basins of dim glow. Their edges blur, then dissolve, leaving only faint rings that shimmer before fading entirely. A soft truth appears in their wake. The boundaries between thoughts become thinner as the mind prepares for its deepest descent into rest. And another truth follows. These thinning boundaries allow emotional weight to disperse, leaving only warmth behind. You can rest now. The basins fade into a low horizon that stretches endlessly, though endlessly no longer feels like distance. It feels like surrender. The horizon pulses softly in steady waves, each wave lowering the world into deeper stillness. The pulses resonate like faint heartbeat in the night, long and gentle, made of nothing but warmth. And as the pulses move, they draw intelligence toward a deeper center, a place where thought dissolves into sensation and sensation dissolves into quiet glow. It's okay to drift. Above the horizon, faint fibers of light begin to form. They shimmer in thin, delicate threads, moving like strands of silk carried by a breath of wind too soft to feel. The fibers twist and cross, forming loose patterns that appear only briefly before unraveling into the dark. Two soft truths flow within their weaving. Dreams begin as tiny flickers of imagery before rising into fuller shapes. And these early flickers are the mind's gentlest form of intelligence, soft and wandering. You can rest now, warm and low. The fibers dim, the patterns fade, and the sky becomes a soft, translucent sheet of warmth. Through it, faint pulses of sound light drift upward, slow and golden, like echoes filtered through deep water. These pulses rise in long intervals, carrying a muted resonance that fills the space with low, comforting tone. Somewhere, light continues to travel, though tone now guides the drift even more than light. The translucent sheet ripples, spreading the tone through the softened world. The ripples extend outward and wide, slow arcs, curving across the open dark. With each ripple, the world feels lighter, less anchored, more like the inside of a warm thought drifting free of its origin. A soft comfort glows in the ripples. It's okay to drift. The sheet dissolves. A deeper quiet rises. The quiet moves like liquid shadow, filling the entire space with weightless calm. It expands and contracts in slow rhythms, like breath across a wide plain. Two soft truths move within it. The body relaxes in waves similar to breath, releasing subtle tension stored in the muscles. And these waves synchronize with the brain's slow oscillations, deepening rest. You can rest now. Into this soft shadow, a single glow begins to rise. It is round, warm, pulsing like a lantern buried under gentle fog. The glow brightens only enough to reveal its shape, a floating sphere of faint gold, turning slowly in place. Its rotation matches the slow pulse of the night. The sphere vibrates slightly, releasing tiny waves of warmth that ripple outward. It's okay to drift, warm and slow. The sphere expands, then contracts, then expands again. Its slow breathing matched perfectly to the lowered rhythm of the drifting mind. With each expansion, the night becomes warmer. With each contraction, the night becomes softer. A truth rises in that warmth. Understanding grows most naturally when pressure is absent, and another truth settles behind it. The universe has always known how to lower its voice for those who drift. You can rest now. The glow dims. The pulses smooth into a single, long exhale. The world releases its remaining edges. And in that faint, dissolving quiet, a familiar line returns, softer than ever. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. The night loosens into a gentler shape. The glow fades to memory, and intelligence drifts into the threshold where sleep waits, low and warm, almost within reach. You drift now into the softest part of the night, where the universe loosens its hold on shape and sound, and everything folds gently into warmth. The world around you feels thinner, lighter, quieter, as if it has lowered itself to match your breath. The air rests close to your skin, warm and slow, settling with the softness of a memory long at peace. You float inside that warmth, weightless as a drifting ember. It's okay to drift, warm and slow. Your thoughts begin to soften into faint movements, barely curves, barely shadows. They rise like distant echoes, then fade before forming words. This fading is natural. It is the night's way of easing the mind into the deeper quiet waiting beneath the surface. A gentle truth floats in with you. During deep rest, the boundaries between thoughts dissolve, allowing the mind to cycle through long, slow waves. And another truth follows with low warmth. These waves help weave the last threads of the day into something soft enough to let go. You are safe here, warm and low. Your breath settles deeper now. It moves through you like a tide returning to calm water, lifting slightly, lowering slowly, leaving behind a smooth, quiet shore. Your chest rises as though cradled by warm darkness, and lowers as though releasing its final weight into the night. Each breath feels longer than the last. Each breath feels softer. It's okay to drift, slow and low. The world beneath you becomes faint, like a floor dissolving into gentle fog. You sink into it without falling, held by something warm and without edges. The warmth spreads across your back, your ribs, your shoulders. It settles beneath your hands and legs, shaping itself around you like slow, calm water. You can let the quiet carry you. You can rest now. Above you, faint arcs of dim light begin to gather thin trails that curl through the softened air. They drift in slow spirals, gentle as breath passing through morning mist. As they turn, the arcs release soft vibrations, quieter than whispers. Two more truths drift within those arcs. The human heartbeat slows in these deeper stages of rest, stretching each interval into long moments of calm. And these stretched intervals allow the mind to settle into its deepest patterns of renewal. You are safe here, warm and low. The arcs widen, forming slow rings that hover above your drifting awareness. Their glow pulses once, then settles into a barely visible shimmer. You feel their presence, warm and distant, like the memory of candlelight seen through closed eyelids. The rings expand into a gentle canopy, a soft shelter glowing just above your quiet breath. It's okay to drift. Your body feels lighter now, as though parts of you have already begun to float away from the day. Your arms loosen into the surrounding warmth. Your legs sink deeper, not with weight, but with softness. Even your face relaxes, the muscles smoothing like sand settling into still water. You are safe here. You can rest now. A low pulse rises beneath you, almost a hum, almost a breeze, almost a heartbeat that belongs not to your body, but to the night itself. It moves through the warm space in long waves, and each wave meets your breath without effort. The universe feels close here, close enough to cradle your drifting awareness. A quiet truth rises within that closeness. During deep rest, the mind enters phases where sound becomes sensation, and sensation becomes warmth. Another truth follows. This warmth is part of the body's natural descent into its slowest rhythms. You are safe here, soft and warm. Your presence begins to feel expanded, as though your boundaries have widened into the night. You drift without moving. You feel without thinking. You exist without effort. The quiet folds around you like a slow tide rising to greet the shore. It's okay to drift, warm and low. The world outside your breath dissolves further. Colors soften. Edges disappear. Sounds fade into faint echoes. And within this dissolution, something tender awakens a low glow inside your chest, gentle and warm, spreading outward with each breath. You feel it as a softness behind your ribs, then a warmth near your throat, then a glow behind your face. You can rest now. The glow expands outward, blending with the warm darkness around you until they become one continuous field, no borders, no difference, only warmth. Two shy truths drift in this field. The brain lowers its sensory gating during sleep, allowing inner warmth to rise unfiltered. And this warmth is one of the oldest signals of safety the body remembers. You are safe here, warm and slow. You float deeper into the quiet, and the glow becomes a slow, pulsing rhythm. It spreads through your arms, down to the tips of your fingers. It settles into your legs, smoothing the weight of the day into something softer. It rises into your face, easing every last tension you carried from the waking world. It's okay to drift. Above you, the canopy of rings dissolves into long, drifting strands of softness. They fall through the air like silent snow, landing on the warm glow surrounding your awareness. Each strand melts instantly into the glow, adding depth to its warmth. The night grows thicker, softer, quieter. You can rest now. Your breath feels so slow now that the pauses between each inhale and exhale blend into one continuous drift. You float inside those pauses. You soften in those pauses. The world narrows into breath, warmth, and stillness. A tender truth rises with the drifting strands. When the body feels fully safe, the breath becomes deeper than thought, and this depth invites the final lowering of the mind into its quietest rhythms. You are safe here. The darkness around you shifts into a faint, shimmering haze. The haze moves like slow, folded fabric, brushing gently against your awareness. It carries a low resonance that feels like the universe humming to itself. Somewhere inside this resonance, a familiar line rises through the softness. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. Your drifting deepens. Your boundaries blur. Your warmth expands. It's okay to drift, soft and low. You notice now that even the thought of noticing is fading. Awareness loosens into something wide and slow. The night holds you. The warmth surrounds you, and the universe feels close enough to rest its quiet pulse against your own. You can rest now, warm and low. You are safe here, drifting deeper. The haze thickens and lowers, becoming a blanket of faint shimmer. It settles over you like dust, illuminated by distant starlight. The shimmer pulses once, then slowly fades into one continuous field of softness. Two gentle truths drift in its fading. Dream onset begins when the last edges of conscious thought dissolve, and this dissolution is the mind's invitation to float freely in its deepest sanctuary. You drift into that invitation with ease. The warmth around you becomes heavier not with weight, but with presence. It lifts you. It holds you. It lowers you into a deepening dark that feels like the softest cradle ever made. It's okay to drift, warm and slow. Your breath becomes so gentle that you barely feel its movement. Your awareness narrows to the soft pulse in your chest, then widens into a warm field where even the pulse dissolves. You can rest now. And now the final descent arrives, quiet, patient, familiar. The night grows denser around your drifting shape, shaping itself into the last cradle before sleep begins fully. You feel yourself loosening into it, letting the softness pull you closer. The universe lowers its voice one more time. Light still travels. The universe breathes through you. You are home. You can rest now. If you're still awake, the next wonder waits in the light ahead.